So oftentimes when we talk about world Christianity, and here in the Center of the Study of World Christianity in Edinburgh, we're very familiar with Africa in particular and African Christianity, and oftentimes in African Christianity there's this discussion of intercultural theology and liberation theology as two major directions of Christian thought in Africa. And what I find in Asia, which is very interesting, is that these two directions are also there, but they are directions that come together in the theology and the practice of the churches. That in Asia, many parts of Asia, when we talk about China or parts of India or Indonesia, that Christians think about engagement with the society, engagement with the public, but also coming through reflections of spirituality, reflections of their own culture, and trying to integrate their cultural and religious understandings of the past into their public engagement. So, for instance, in China, we may talk about Confucian ideas that percolate through the rationale of why we engage in the public. We engage in the public because that is part of our filial relationship with our family, but how the family shapes the society more broadly. And that's a very Confucian idea, but that is transforming public engagement of churches in communist China today. Or we could talk about parts of India where there's thinking of the cosmic Christology, of how the Spirit of God is working through Christ, through all of humanity, and therefore including those who are Christians and non-Christians, those who are Hindus and Buddhists along with Christians. So we're talking about interreligious work as well as social political work as well. So these are some of the themes that I think world Christianity, when we think about Asia, interreligious, intra-religious, that is, the religions that one has historically within themselves, and also the social-political. All these are dynamics that are interweaving with one another within different parts of Asia that I think is really exciting about world Christianity there. So one of the things that I found in my own journey as an academic, when I was working on my PhD, I was very focused on China. That's my PhD. I'm doing my work on China, Chinese Christianity, and when I was doing my PhD in Birmingham, a lot of the emphasis there was on Asia, but also on Pentecostalism, and these were the things that I was informed about. But then when I came here, I was exposed to this world of African Christianity and more of Latin American Christianity and other parts of the world, in the Middle East and so forth. And really one of the things that I think with all these centers that are popping up around the world, there needs to be this more of an exchange. Not only the exchange of people and literature, but of ideas and of just exposure to the world. If indeed it is world Christianity, it needs to, when we sit in a seminar, I remember sitting on my first seminar in the Center for the Study of World Christianity here in Edinburgh on African Christianity and thinking, this is so foreign to anything I've known. But at the same time, it actually has a lot of similarities to China. And the interaction with ideas and exposure of different contexts is really something that I think the centers can do so much more work in working together and collaborating for things like this.